Ready? Play.
The WTA 500 draw is out in Stuttgart, and we have a mouth-watering clash that's going to be coming up between Alex Eala and Leylah Fernandez. It's a stacked WTA 500 field featuring players including Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, Jasmine Paolini, and Elena Rybakina, as well as the aforementioned Eala and Fernandez. It's an event that's going to be played on indoor clay. That is, of course, the same environment that Eala played last week in Linz. So there is a small advantage that Eala will carry into this event but with both players liking to play from the baseline, Eala coming to the net a lot less frequently on the clay, but Fernandez is a bit of a clay dog. So let's get into this matchup right now. Still just 20 years old, Eala is one of the fastest rising players on the tour. She's going to turn 21, by the way, in May, so not far away. But she had a good sunshine double, where she, of course, beat Coco Gauff en route to the fourth round at Indian Wells. She also made the fourth round in Miami, beating Magda Linette and Laura Siegemund before succumbing to Karolina Muchova. So that's where the form is at for Eala. She did win one match in Linz before going down in straight sets to Jelena Ostapenko, who, by the way, is the reigning champion in Stuttgart and will also be in the field. Let's have a look at the draw right now. As we can see, Eala features in this first section of the draw next to Leylah Fernandez, also in the same section as Elena Rybakina and Jasmine Paolini. So if Eala is to win this match against Fernandez, she will play either a qualifier or potentially Paolini in the next round. Don't forget, Paolini is someone that lost to Eala in straight sets just a couple of months ago during the Middle East swing. So Eala might fancy her chances, particularly against Paolini, because Paolini is not in the best of form. But that's getting a bit carried away with ourselves. Let's wind ourselves back. What are the factors in favor of Eala? Well, She's already played a match or two, actually, on the indoor conditions in Linz. Suppose this is Leylah's first tournament on the indoor European clay. What else favors Eala? I would say form as well. Eala's form is better currently than Leylah Fernandez. As well as the impressive Sunshine Double, she also made the semi-finals in New Zealand earlier this year, and of course had a decent swing in the Middle East, including a quarter-final run at the 1000 event in Dubai.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leymans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready. Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. I will have an accomplice with me in a moment, but I'm going to keep that a surprise. And in fact, I can see her now. Are you ready to come forward? I think she's ready to come forward. Give me a thumbs up if you are. Great, cool. How are you, all right?
Hi, good evening from my side of the world.
Yes. Is it after 11 o'clock, like 10 past 11 where you are?
Yes.
And tell everyone where in the world you are.
So I am in Quezon City in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So they actually did announce that Alex is from Quezon City. So yes.
Oh, really? So you're from the
Yeah.
same town or same city as her?
Well, I wasn't from here originally, so technically not. But yeah, more or less same general region, the capital region. Yeah.
Got it. I'm just going to change my mic, so hopefully also. Yeah. Now is when we find out how in sync the three of us are in terms of our streams, but also in terms of the scoreboard. I have Leylah Fernandez serving. It's 40-15, and she's going to win the first game right now. Where are you into? I bet you're slightly ahead of me. Most people normally are.
Yes, a little bit. They're in the mini changeover. What do you call that when they go do their?
Yeah, it is kind of a changeover, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you're a few seconds ahead. We'll find out more specifically as the match wears on. But Leylah has held. In my preview, I said that although Leylah, one of her weaknesses has been highlighted as the serve, I still would probably put her serve as slightly less attackable than Alex's. What do you think?
Yes, I would agree.
Turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I looked at some serve stats for the year as well, and they did look slightly better for Leylah. But until Alex came on the scene in terms of the main tour, at least, I remember watching quite a few Leylah matches where she'd go up a break, but it never felt that secure.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right that her serve is not a strength of hers. Yes.
Yeah, indeed. What about Alex on the clay? What are your thoughts?
I feel like she has improved versus last year. Like last year was really her, her full schedule. I would say on the tour on clay, but I still think that her movement needs a lot of improvement on the clay. It just feels like she's not that able to set up her position, and it leaves her a
Yeah.
bit attackable if someone hits fast or hits hard. But Leylah
Yeah.
isn't that powerful, so maybe that's not gonna be that much of an issue. But she can hit a lot of angles and like open up the court.
She can, yeah. Yeah, the movement is probably the main thing. I also think that there's two or three elements to Alex's game that are not favorable on the surface, as in like the return, okay? So
Okay.
she's really unbelievable on returns when it's like quick conditions, doesn't matter. That ball
Right.
can be fizzing off the grass or off a quick hard court, and she's there, especially on a second serve. Whereas it doesn't really matter on the clay for a couple of
Right.
reasons, because other people have that possibility of getting the return in play and just setting us back to neutral.
Right.
Also, her returns don't fizz off the surface in the same way that they would do on quicker surfaces.
That's right.
So the other thing as well with her serve, for example, now on grass, I noticed last year where she got much better results than on clay, for example. It was obviously still an issue, but she would hold serve a little bit more as long as she kept her first serve percentage up in the late 60s, early 70s. But again, here, doesn't really matter on the clay. It's not really
Right.
much she can do, other than maybe a bit more of a slice, a bit more of an angle, etc. But there's just little things, and those things are 5 points per match, and that's the difference between getting to the quarters and the semis or going out in round 1 or 2.
Right. That's right. And I think, yeah, and on the grass, the low bounce kind of helps her serve
Yeah,
a bit.
agree. Yeah, because she doesn't have a. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that, because she doesn't have a problem bending down for those things, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Right,
But
I'm at
let's see.
40-30 with Alex serving. She did have a bit of a, I think it was 40-15 a moment ago. My stream did just freeze, but yeah, 40-30 here. The form right now is slightly with Alex compared to Leylah, right?
Yes, I would say, but I have seen some of Leylah's matches this season. They aren't like really bad losses. Like they've been close. Like she could have won some of them and just, some points here and there. Like she wasn't clutch when she needed to be, I think. So she's not, as terrible as like the numbers would say.
Got
Like,
it.
she's 4-9 right now for win
Yeah.
loss of the season. But I think some of those matches she could have won, or they were pretty close.
Wonderful backhand winner there from Alex. Yes, I think gradually Alex will get more and more better
Right.
results on the clay. I just don't know if I would be optimistic about her chances of having a deep run at some slams in her career. I'm not sure I'd go much more than that right now, but if you said to me she's going to make the fourth round or the quarters of a slam even this year, I'd go, yeah, because she can beat 90% of the tour on any given day, and that's all you need to get to the fourth round or quarters, right? She just missed a backhand there to get to deuce, but I would be very surprised if that slam happened to be the French Open.
Yeah, I think that would be the least likely of the four. But who knows?
Leylah here.
What do you
find a
think
bit of
about
pressure. Go on.
the lefty? Both of them are lefty. Oh,
I had a look, but it's a few weeks ago now. I had a look at Alex's record against lefties. Who was the last lefty she played? Maybe she came up against a lefty earlier this year, and I was looking at her record.
I don't think she has this year.
Oh,
I
okay.
think the last one was probably Lulu Son.
Okay, right.
From China, last
Yeah.
125 in China last year.
Yeah, when
I
she
think
lost,
That
yeah.
was her last. Yeah.
So actually, my answer is I'm not sure. What have you got some thoughts on this lefty-lefty combo for Alex?
I'm not actually that sure either, but I do think that Leylah hits more angularly, if that makes sense. more than Alex, at least on the forehand. But on the backhand, Alex can be more aggressive on that side. So I don't really know how it would play out.
Break point has just come and gone for Leylah, but it felt like for Leylah, felt like Alex got a bit out of jail there with that return going long because it only just went long, and it was basically she was going to be in big trouble if that had clipped the line. Yes, I made Leylah the slight favorite going into this. There were sort of factors, you know. We talked about the dynamics of some of the rallies. We talked about where Eala's form is at, which I would say is pretty good. Win-loss record for this year, you know, making the semis as well at a WTA 250. Oh, that's a bit lucky as well. That's landed in that serve. But and yet Leylah, I haven't seen a lot of Leylah's matches this year, to be fair, but she's in a lot of matches. But that's her career for me in so many ways. That good return there from Leylah to punish that second serve, or was felt like a second serve, although it could have been a first from Alex. So another break point. So I weighed up all this, but I thought, you know what? The gap between these two in terms of pedigree on this surface is quite wide. That I went for that. That was my deciding factor. So I made Leylah the slight favorite.
I mean, Leylah has made the quarters of Roland Garros, right?
Exactly.
That was some years ago, but you know, that's still pedigree. Well, I'm a bit ahead of you, so...
You know what happens at the end of this rally? And I do too. Alex has just gone long. And so it is a break of serve to love. It was the forehand as well from Eala, and not after the ideal start. I don't see this match going the same way because of the nature of those first two games, and especially that service game from Alex where she had chances. I think she had 40-15 on her serve, for example.
Right.
But those losses that Eala has had in the last 6 months, and I'm thinking, you know, 2-love against Noskova, 11-2 against Coco, winning just 2 games as well against Mukova. It might be another one in the last 6 months of a similar nature. Just trying to remember. But those 3 anyway. There's a little concern for me with the some matches. It's just a step too far. And I don't know if it's because Alex has fought her hardest for the previous 4 days, coming through epics and marathons where she's down breaks in the deciding set or double breaks and all the rest of it. And then we see the strapping on the thigh appear as well from time to time. And she's really pushed herself to the absolute limit. Or whether there's probably a bigger factor going on, which is just that when she comes up against aggressive players, especially those with a really good second serve that she can't attack, and I'm thinking away from play for now, and those aggressive players that play with margin. So I'm not talking about who was it she beat in the first round in Indian Wells? Yastremska, maybe? I think she's beaten Yastremska a couple of times in the last 6 months or so on. But those, and Ostapenko too, those kind of players, they'll give you a present or two. They'll give you a set sometimes. But Noskova, Coco, and Mukova's a bit different, but we'll come to her in a minute. They don't really give you a set like that. And in fact, yes, Coco will hit 10 double faults, even across 2 sets in a fairly quick match. But that second service, the reason why she hits a lot of double faults, partly, not entirely, is that I think she does take a little more risk than some other players. And so I noticed that Alex was standing further and further back, which is very unlike her, having watched, I don't know, probably the best part of 50 matches of Alex's over the last 14 months or so. Very rare that she's behind that baseline on second serve. But as the longer that Coco match, for example, went on in the Middle East, she was having to do that because she wasn't doing much on that second serve. What do you think about the nature of those big losses that she's been having?
I think she did speak a bit about that. Like she said, like she thinks there's still a gap between her and like top 20 players. And I think that certainly is still a factor. And I would say I agree with a lot of the things that you said. I would just add that if the player is, yeah, power, the combination of power and margin, that's where she can't force them to make a lot of mistakes, which is really, a huge part of her game plan, right? Like to force her opponents into errors. And if she comes up against players who she can't force to make errors, that's gonna be pretty hard for her to break them. And then her serve is quite breakable. So then, she just gets so down in the scoreline that it's hard to like fight back. It's just gonna be a mountain, I think, every time. But again, I felt like in those matches, like for example with the Coco match, she was able to get her teeth a bit into it towards the second set. Like
Yes,
she got used to
yes.
the ball of Coco. So I think she can improve versus those top players in the future. It's just, yeah, I think it's more like a learning curve also for
Okay.
her right now. Let's see. I mean, if when the year ends and that those kinds of core lines still happen, then maybe that is concerning.
Got it. Yeah, fair enough. 3-love here for Leylah. That was another comfortable hold for the Canadian. We'll see. It feels like that second game was huge. I mean, 40-15 up on her serve. Yeah, 3-love now as well. I often feel as though, when you're serving first, once you get that 3-game margin, it feels, very, very good. And when you're serving second and it's one breaker serve, as we saw in the Monte Carlo final recently with Carlos serving second, and you're 4-3 at the change of ends and you're 3-2 at the change of ends, it doesn't feel quite as comfortable, especially with those guys that obviously can break each other pretty frequently on the pretty slow play in Monte Carlo. We've got a love 15 scenario here as well for Alex. So I don't see this going that way, by the way, in terms of the manner of those losses that I highlighted for Alex earlier in this season and also to some extent last season.
I think she's not getting a lot of first serves in right now, and that's leaving
Not
her
helpful.
a lot more vulnerable.
She's just double
Yeah.
faulted, has she? No, that must have clipped the net.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. Not getting your first serves won't help either as well.
And Leylah is, as you said, she's a very aggressive-minded player as well. So like
Yes.
if she sees that second serve, she's gonna attack that.
Yeah.
And she has like a lot of creativity as well. Like
Look at that drop shot.
that
Sorry.
drop.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah.
I noticed in Linz last week, I think there was maybe both matches, but there was one match I think where I think Eala was only at the net maybe once, and yet it might have been because of the nature of her opponent. I think it was the first round actually where she actually went through, but and yet actually her being at the net is a prominent feature when she's on a hard court anyway, in particular, and that the patterns of play might have just been her opponent, by the way, last week, but it was just like, oh, that's true. Yeah. And I think it was like Eala was like 1 from 1 at the net or something. It was one of those stats. You're like, oh, okay. Hello. She's got a drive volley here that she does put away. Even those drive volleys, by the way, which she's unbelievable at, like taking that ball out of the air on a clay court, they will come back again often.
Right. And like, for example, that backhand that she hit before just now, coming up now, maybe on your side. I think if it were a hard court, that wouldn't probably come back. But since this is a clay court, yeah, Leylah got to it.
Because there is a big level of seeing Leylah put a backhand into the net, which she'll be disappointed with actually, because you get to 15-40 and the set feels like it's almost done. It's very easy to watch Alex a couple of times and go, okay, she's a grinder from the baseline, etc., and particularly maybe during that Miami run, she wasn't able to, even though she got to the semi-finals, but she wasn't able to dominate points in the way that I started seeing a lot more as I watched her more at the WTA 125 level, especially during the grass court season. And then you go, oh, okay, there's a huge she has got a lot of weapons. She has got an unbelievable return, etc. And maybe I just didn't watch enough of her in Miami, or I'd filled my head with some certain stereotypes about Alex at that stage. And I was probably too preoccupied with her serve to realize that, oh, that's a wonderful cross-court forehand winner from Leylah going in behind Alex.
Right. Again,
Yeah,
the
but
movement is
go on.
pretty exposed.
Yes, agree. Yeah, on that point, for example. Interesting, because she will have played a lot on clay since, I don't know, how old was she when she went to Mallorca? 13, 14?
Yeah, I think 13, around
Yeah.
that age. Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's a comment and an interview I wheel out quite a lot, but you know, her first response to me was that she grew up on hard, like I asked her about surfaces and she's like, oh, I grew up on hard courts. So
Right. Interesting though. I don't know if she played on shell courts when she
just
was here.
got a forehand long there. Sorry to interrupt you. And we have
Yes,
indeed
sure.
got 4-love. Go on, what were we going to say?
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if she grew up playing on shell courts, which is, I mean, a similar sort of surface to clay, just
Okay.
grittier and rougher, but it's similar in the sense that it's a less stable surface.
So these are courts that are prominent in the Philippines, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would say not super prominent. Maybe hard courts herself more prominent, but yes, I think we probably are the only country who have shell courts. I'm not sure.
Just having a quick look now, look at some images and stuff. Yeah. Okay, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, so she may have played on them, but I do think she trained primarily on hard courts. So
Yeah, I'm looking at this nature of this surface. Yeah, it looks, yeah, clay-like, but as she certainly said to me anyway that she's much more familiar with the hard court.
Yeah.
And I think there's elements to her game as well that we've already highlighted as well that suit it. Anyway, 4-love, 15-love. I didn't, yeah, as I said, I didn't quite see this scoreline jumping out to me. Plus, of course, oh, that's a good backhand winner there though from Eala to get to 15-all.
right.
Plus, of course, Alex has just played a couple of matches on indoor clay in Linz. I know Leylah played Charleston, I think. She went out pretty early there. I think she might have won one match and lost
She
one match.
won, yeah, one match.
Yeah. But I thought that would just give Alex a little advantage. You know, also the travel from Linz is not too bad. So I thought that would make this pretty close.
Right.
What do you think about Eala's decision this year to schedule a couple of 500s in her schedule rather than maybe drop down to a 125? Or even this week, for example, there's a 250 in Rouen, isn't there?
I'm not sure like why she decided to go for Stuttgart instead of Rouen, but maybe it's just the money probably, or also
Yeah.
like how close it is to
Yeah.
Linz. I
Linz,
think
yeah.
that might also be a factor. Yeah.
I think appearance fee, prestige, a few other things.
Right. Yeah.
I guess you've got to push yourself. 15-30 it was there, but it's now 30-all with that good +1 there for Leylah. Yeah, I mean you've got to test it. I'm not pro or anti. I think initially I was like, you know what? I think I'd like to see her in Wearash again at a WTA 125. I'd like to maybe see her in Rouen, but maybe that was just me thinking selfishly. I'm based in Germany, but yeah, if she was going to Wearash, because I was there last year, I probably would have gone.
Right.
And it's still a fair journey because you've got to get on a plane pretty much to get there, but it's in a part of the world that I really like near Lisbon.
Okay.
So, is it going to be a break
Well,
point? Yes, I think it is. Okay,
It is.
30-40 here.
Like Leylah's been serving pretty well up to
Mhm.
until this point. Like she usually has double fault issues as well, at least this year, and she only has hit one so far.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
now
based in
she's
Germany, but
here.
I'm quite far from Stuttgart, by the way. I'm
Oh,
northwestern Germany, so By car, it's about 5 or 6 hours to Stuttgart.
Oh, that is still far.
Yeah, but for Europeans, it is. How far are you from Manila?
Pretty close. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not sure how many kilometers. Maybe like 12
Oh, wow.
or something like that. But yeah. I
So you're
mean,
kind of like in a suburb of Manila, if you like, or an adjoining town or
well,
city.
so the thing about Manila
Good
is that
aggressive play there from Leylah Juice. Go on.
um, it's a city within a region called Metro Manila. So
Gotcha.
Quezon City is also in Metro Manila. So we're all close to each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think the defense on that last point, it was a good, aggressive play there from Leylah. But again, I mean, Coco is probably too strong an exaggeration. But let's just say a good clay court move, and maybe even a Leylah probably gets that back in play. She
Do
didn't
you
slide
think-
into it. She slid a little bit at the end, but that's a nice one in behind as well for Leylah to get an advantage. Go on, what were you going to say?
No, I was gonna ask do you think part of the reason why she doesn't go much to the net is the movement? Like she doesn't feel secure to move forward?
I thought that because actually, her net game is pretty good. I think it's not
Yes,
not
yes.
necessarily elite like top 10, but it's not something that's holding her back. When I'm watching her during the second half of last year, so post Wimbledon, actually, I'm watching her in all different sorts of court positions, and she's pretty comfortable. She's very athletic. She's got a decent touch. I wouldn't necessarily say her touch is her strength, but it's fine. There is a funny thing I've seen from her, which I hadn't noticed. Now, it might just be I hadn't noticed it before, but I noticed when she was practicing at the Nadal Academy like 2 weeks ago, and I saw some pictures, but I also saw some videos of her doing this kind of two-handed backhand drop shot, which I hadn't noticed on another surface. And I saw her do it a couple of times to varying levels of success. It's a good backhand there from Leylah on the rise to get another game point. To varying levels of success as well in Linz last week. So it looks not as smooth and as wonderful as a lot of these drop shots do look from other players, but maybe it's still effective. It was just sort of, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like shoveled rather than glided. And of course, she's not probably hitting that many drop shots on the other surfaces, because she will hit a slice a bit, but it's difficult to explain exactly why, but when you think about what makes a good grass court player, there are different facets, and but certainly the return is huge on grass. There's a reason why Djokovic won, what is it, 8 Wimbledons?
Yeah.
Something like that. There's a reason why Agassi was not anything but a serve volley or anything like that, but he could return the hell out of the ball. And Leylah holds for 5 love.
Yeah, Alex had some chances in that game, but
She did.
I think she's getting she's understanding better how Leylah plays her points more. Like I can see she's anticipating better, but she's still kind of guessing like where Leylah will put the ball. I don't know if you noticed, like she doesn't move that much after hitting her turn because she's not sure like where.
That's interesting. Yeah, good point. No, I hadn't noticed that.
But she has done better in that game. It's just Leylah was pretty clutch when she needed to be.
2 lefties, 2 players with maybe slightly under par serves, 2 Babolat players I see as well, with both the same racket, the same model, etc., etc. And Leylah has a grandparent maybe from the Philippines. Is that right? That's what I read.
Think her mother is of Filipino descent.
Okay,
but she did not grew up here. She grew up, I think, in Canada already, so she doesn't speak the language. But yes, her grandparents are on the maternal side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as I know.
Yeah. So there is something. Actually, funny enough, not because of that reason, but because of their game and lefties, etc. I did ask Alex about whether
Right, I
she
saw
had,
that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Not mad about it, she said. And I wasn't just randomly saying that. It was just a few other players, a few other
Right.
people. Like I remember Vanch, for example, if you know Vanch, was saying that he saw some similarities in their games, some of which I've just highlighted. But yeah, I do think one of the differences is certainly when it comes to this surface. I think I
Right.
back Leylah a bit more, at
Yeah,
least for now.
Leylah can move so much better on the
Hmm.
surface, of course. And yeah, as we mentioned already, her serve is definitely less attackable than Alex's.
Yeah, she also won't. Again, coming back to that expression I said earlier, she won't gift you that many points. She is aggressive enough, Leylah, and she will make mistakes, but she hangs in there in games. You know how it is with Ostapenko. 3 games can just fly by, and she wins 1 point.
Right.
For various different reasons. I saw the third set, for example, when Ostapenko lost last week to Rusa, and the third set was she went off court. She reset at the end of the second set, having lost that second set, and it was fairly close. I thought that maybe Ostapenko would power away from her in the third set. In the first game or two of the third set was fine. I think it got to 1-1, maybe it was 2-love, but it didn't feel that bad. But from the second or third game of that third set, it was just, yeah. And yeah, with Yelena, things go very well, they go very well. If they go very badly, they go very badly. And it doesn't really matter who Yelena is playing. I've seen those kind of sets and performances
Yeah.
at the Billie Jean King Cup when she's playing players 150 or 200 in the world. I've also...
I mean,
Go
she
on.
beat Sabalenka last year in
Exactly, in the
this court,
final
and like
here,
it
yeah.
was crazy easy for her.
Yeah, I can't think of many people outside of that Middle East swing in 2025, I think it was. Can't think of many people in the last 18 months, 20 months or so, that have beaten Arena that comfortably.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, all of Arena's losses in that period have been crazy third sets of semis or finals at slams where she was up a set, up a break here, or got back it on serve against
Right.
Anisimova in Wimbledon, and you think she's going to win the match, but Anisimova had other ideas. Anyway, 40-15 here for Eala. She was 40-15 up, of course, on her serve in that first time that she got broken, and she'll be keen to avoid the bagel, at least to avoid the scenario that I'd highlighted regarding some of her losses against Mukova and Goff, etc., Noskova too.
Oh, that was a really good backhand down the line.
Okay, I'm about to see this, no doubt. So it was a good serve from Alex. Okay. Oh, lovely. 5-1.
So she avoids the bagel.
When you said a good backhand down the line, actually, I wasn't sure who. I was actually thinking it might be from.
Yeah, I mean, it could be either one of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That backhand down the line.
Earlier in that game, she had a serve from the ad side where she hit like very wide, and normally that would, help her. But given that Leylah is a lefty, she got to it like easily. I think that's now where we're seeing the lefty factor.
She has a funny forward stance, doesn't she, when serving Leylah? Like she's almost sort of straight onto the court at one point during, like I'm kind of looking at her right now. Compared to say John McEnroe, who would have been the complete opposite. It was almost like behind the, he's almost facing southwards almost. 15-love, by the way. But there is a moment as she almost is facing straight onto the court during the service. Okay, 15 love, so 3 points away from the set. The other thing about those losses that I've highlighted is there were lots of games that just ran away. Like, you know, she's maybe barely winning points on the opponent's serve. She's getting broken to 15 and stuff. Today, different. You know, this could easily be 5-3 right now.
Right. I mean, she could. Yeah, you're correct. She could.
She's still down, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that Leylah doesn't deserve to win this set, but she was 40-15 up on her serve on one game. She gets to juice, I think, on Leylah's serve as well, and there's an ace there though for Leylah Fernandez. That must have just clipped the line. Again, you're thinking about the reading of that, perhaps, because there was barely much movement there from Alex, and we've got 3 set points. I think for Leylah.
Anyway, Leylah's serving really well in this set. Like, I haven't seen her serve. Well, now I jinxed her.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going now, but here we go.
Yeah, but she is serving really well in this set. Like, probably one of the best servings she's had in a while.
Okay. Yeah, double fault. Okay, I gotcha. So 40-15, but still 1 point away. So Leylah, I think Alex is signed up for Madrid. I think she might have signed up for Barcelona as well as like a backup if she doesn't win too many matches in Madrid. Or it might just be a rumor. Oh, she's missed that return, and Leylah does indeed win that set by 6-1 in a little over half an hour. And yeah, not the ideal start to this match for sure for Alex. Yeah, coming back to Eala and her schedule, yeah, I think I saw something about there being, or maybe it was just me second guessing what she might do, but I thought I saw something about her potentially playing Barcelona, because that's the second week of Madrid as a kind of like those that go out early or those that want to play a few more matches elsewhere can play.
Is it like what level is it?
Actually, it's based just outside Barcelona, but I think it's called the Catalonia Open, actually.
Oh, okay. It's a 125?
Yeah, 125, yeah. It's I think I called it Barcelona, but actually it's maybe half an hour from Barcelona.
Got it.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I think
Eala
that would be great for her if she just to get more matches.
Definitely.
On the surface, right?
Last year she won 2 matches on clay. One of those was at a 125 in Huerash. The other one, of course, was the first round against Tomova, maybe in Madrid.
Right.
I think it was. But yes, she lost first round at French Open, first round to Kostyuk, I think, in Rome. That was another one of these big losses as well, although I didn't see that match, so couldn't tell you much about it. I think it was Love and won that one. And she lost second round in Madrid to Iga. In fact, her clay court season kind of came to an end when she was 1 set to love up on Iga.
That's right.
39, is that 39% first serves in? That's the stat I've got on my screen right now. 39% first serves in for Eala in that first set. Well,
yeah, that's you know,
you're going to be in big trouble. Yeah, against anyone. But on this surface, against Leylah, I mean, it's unusual because something again, and I'm going on impressions, but I think they're fairly justified, that I would often be looking at the stats at the end of her matches during the grass court season, but then also the hard court season that followed. And I'd be seeing, whether Alex won or lost, I'd be seeing 65, 68, 70% first serves in. And I'm thinking, yep, that's what you need to win matches. And that will win you some matches and not all. But I was like, that's good, because if you have got that, you know, attackable serve, at least try and get a lot of your first serves in to give yourself a chance of holding. Right. And that would win her quite a few matches, but 39%, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
If you've got a serve like Elena Rybakina, fine. Yeah?
Right, I mean, 39%?
She's the opposite. She gets like 48, 50, 52%, and she's winning
Right.
Grand Slams with that.
Right. I mean, if 50% of those are like aces or unreturnable.
Exactly, yeah. 15 love for Alex. I think she did well there to
Yeah.
she was down in that point, and she kind of had no choice but to kind of go big with that forehand cross court, and it was the right thing to do. She could have just lofted it up as well, but as a result, she won that point, 15 love. Good serve down the tee there from Alex. It's nice, 30 love.
Right.
If she could just get to 1 love with a decent hold.
Right. At least she's not under pressure from the start.
Not at the moment, no. Like I say, that I didn't see the Kostyuk one, but the other matches that I told you that you know, it was already 6 love, 3 love, or 6-2, 3 love or something. And yeah, it was just a flash, some of those games. Whereas today, you know, she's had a break
Right.
point on the Leylah serve. She just missed that forehand in the net, which would be disappointing because that's set up quite
Yeah, that
nicely.
was.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's got to go for those shots. You can't. And that is her instinct anyway. You know, that forehand that she just missed. You know, she might lose 6-1, 6-1 today, but unless if the second set goes the same way as the first, it'll feel very different. What do you think about that Ostapenko loss? Because that felt like one of the most difficult psychologically that she would have had. Oh, and she's just put a volley into the net as well. That felt like a pretty bruising. I think she lost 6 games in a row there as well, which again
Right.
can happen. But 5-1 up, and
Yeah.
I think she loses that match anyway, in a way. And Ostapenko said the same in her on-court interview at the end of the match. She didn't really mind going to a third set, at least that's what she said. But I felt that as well. I think what we saw in those 6 games could well have manifested itself in a similar form in the third set. But yeah, what did you make of that loss for Alex?
You know what? I thought that even though she lost like 6 games or 5, how many games in a row in the second
6
set?
in the second set. Yeah, she was
I
5-1
didn't-
and lost 7-5. Yeah.
I didn't think she did a lot of wrong in that set. Like it was just really Elena just blitzing, I think. Like from the moment when she was like, you know, she was just 1 game away from losing a set, she just was like, she just blitzed her. I
True.
felt like her real chances were in the first set. Like had she retained her, I think she was up 4-2 in the first set.
She was, yeah. It certainly was up a break anyway, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Good
that
hold,
would have
by the
made
way.
a
Ace down the
difference.
tee as well.
Yes.
Sorry, go on, carry on.
I mean, that would have made the difference, I think, if she had the first set. But because she had already was down a set, and then it's just really hard to come back against someone who can just hit you off the court on a surface that you don't prefer. I would have, but then again, yes, you were right. Like it's brutal to you should have been able to win the set because you served for it twice, right? Like actually, yeah, she served for it twice. So I think the competitor that she is, she would have felt very disappointed in herself, not serving it out or just at least getting a 1 set. But from my point of view, I just felt it was on Yelena's racket, really. That set and
Fair
in
enough.
the match, of course.
Very funny, Ghosty. I like that. I just Googled Molchan. I don't know because I don't know what's going on in any other tournaments today. I think
Okay, who's
Alcaraz
Molchan?
has played. Has he played for Tarnan? Is that done? Because I don't know anything about any tennis apart from this match right now. I know the 2 results in Stuttgart from early on. What's happened with Alcaraz? Can you tell me?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I've got it here now. I think he's won. He's played.
He won, yeah.
4-2. I don't even know if Molchan is even playing or not, or whether that's just Ghosty. He's a big
No,
fan of Molchan.
he won against Bublik.
Okay. In
4-2
Munich.
as
Oh, he beat
well.
Bublik in Munich, did he?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I have no idea aside from the 3 matches in Stuttgart, and even those 3, by the way, I was more focused on, are they going to get done in time so we start at 5 o'clock?
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think Mertens won in straights, and I don't even remember who the other match was, but I just had a look at both and go, okay, straight set.
So Leylah is still serving really well in the second set.
She gets to 40 love, yeah. Yeah, just having a look at some matches and some results. Good win for Musetti today in Barcelona, 5-2 against Landalusa. I think I've not watched a bunch of Landalusa matches, but despite being Spanish and I think a Nadal Academy graduate as well, he is getting better results on the hard court. I think he's won 2 challenges on hard and none on clay. And his obviously results in Miami were mightily impressive in that run he had there. But anyway, Musetti needs matches and needs to get healthy because, yeah, not far away from the French Open. And it's been a bit of a really rough start for Lorenzo in terms of him playing arguably the best tennis of his career, 2 sets to love up on Novak Djokovic. And, yeah, that was that. 40-15 here for Leylah. What else have we got? Yuri Garabelli beating Khachanov. Okay. Khachanov has had some really good results in Barcelona before, so to go out the round of 32 for him will be disappointing. Demon all straights over Offner. Oh, I had Martinez to beat Sonego in my prediction, but Sonego first match, I think, all year, Lorenzo. I think it's his first match, been out injured all year. But that's a really good win for him, considering Pedro had come through a couple of qualifying matches as well. Mahac beats Baez, and Baez, I don't know what happens to Sebastian. Just, you know, when South American clay, he's like, okay, I'll win this title, I'll win that title. European clay, unless it's in Bucharest, he's like, ooh, I don't like this stuff here.
It's like the clay different or something?
I've played both in South America myself, in South America and in Europe. I'm not a professional anywhere even close to it. I don't notice a huge difference. There obviously will be subtle differences in the conditions for sure, but I don't know. Somebody ask Sebastian next time. Make sure Sebastian's just won when you ask him, though. That's the kind of question you ask when the players won, not when they've lost. Okay, 1 game all. Leylah, though, is now love 15 here on the Alex serve, and there's a little clenched fist there, which suggests I'm ready to make my move in this second set. It does have straight sets vibes for me now. And I know I've seen bunches of Eala matches where she's pulled incredible rallies out of the back. But those matches still, you just didn't, I wouldn't, like even 5-1 against Towson, I think that was in the 3rd set, wasn't it? Or double break, and I think it was 5-1. And she also had a similar one recently, didn't she, in the Middle East, where I think it was in Dubai, maybe? Saber.
Oh, I think it was, yes.
Might have been Dubai, I think, I'm not sure.
Probably, I think it was Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, okay, sorry. Well done, Leylah Fernandez there as well. Love 30. Again, that's a rally that could easily go either way, but it's gone the way of Leylah. It's a really good scooped up backhand, that is.
She hasn't hit the first serve, I think, in this game.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to help along that 39% stat we mentioned before. Let's see if she gets a first serve here at love 30. She's going to need it. Yeah, she was going to go T, which would have made sense, but that was the serve I was thinking to go for, but she's hit the net and it's landed in, so it's going to be another first serve. 160, that doesn't seem too bad. If that is accurate, by the way. I don't know if they are exactly 160k an hour for that serve. Okay. That does go down the tee and land in. Okay, 1530. Nice bit of margin on that serve in terms of where it landed, although it just floated over the net. But what we got now, 47% for the match. So I guess in that first game of this set, she probably hit a bunch of first serves, which probably helped her hold. Ooh, a bit lucky there, Leylah, with that return clip in the net. Oh, look at this rally. Yay. Alex has got to make that forehand, really.
Right. I mean, that point was hers until.
Yeah. Even that, yes, she's under, it's coming at her with a little bit of pace, that last shot she has, but normally I would expect her, irrespective of the surface, to make that forehand. And if she makes that forehand, it gets over the net. I think maybe Leylah gets there, but the point is down probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was nearly landing in that first serve, but not in. So it's going to be a second serve here. 2 break points for Leylah Fernandez to get a firm grip on this match. Let's see where this second serve goes. Into the forehand return, which she does quite like in this game at least. And it is bringing up an error on the return, so it's 30-40. Josefino here, Bulong Cow is saying, come on, Alex, you can do it. Cherry Gloria keen to highlight Leylah's, Alex's, vulnerability on serve. I think we're pretty aware of that. Okay, backhand here from Alex is going to miss. Again, maybe the footwork there was as much to blame as the execution. She just needs to be a few inches further to the left, I think. There was... Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Alex that she know. But yeah, just got to get in. After that serve, you've got to get your footwork ready and quicker than ever. And by the way, this is not me criticizing Alex's footwork, because I think she is fairly close to the top of the game, but maybe it's a clay thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a clay thing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna blame everything on clay.
Do you know what? I don't think you're far away though. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you have a chance to interview her again, like, maybe ask what is it about clay that she finds, so challenging, I guess.
I will.
Did she tell you?
No, not really. Okay. She was more. I found Alex as a person charming, friendly, nice, but it just felt like she's got some quite good media training.
Oh,
yes. And probably I'd have to hone in on those interviews, not just with me, but elsewhere, and just go, you know what? So here we go. During that conversation about surfaces, she said, well, I'm hoping to get good results. This is the beginning of the clay court season. I grew up on hard courts, but the line that was sort of the headline, but it was still nice, was, I love clay. I just want it to love me back. But there were other elements to the interview which told me that you're not gonna catch this lady out too much, even if she was 19 at the time. Now 20. Go on.
No, I agree.
You've obviously
her
spoken to a
media
few times
training
yourself, right?
It's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of knows what to say at the right times. You might, with a player such as Alex, for example, when you catch them at a WTA 125, or if they don't have their manager with them, I'm not quite sure. I know she obviously has her parents with her quite a bit, and she'll have coaches. I'm not sure if she has a manager yet, but there'll probably be someone working closely with her in terms of PR. But even in the absence of those people, when I was interviewing her, she's a smart cookie, and she deals with the media in that ideal sweet spot of being friendly, giving, but not giving too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think she definitely, whoever made that decision to nurture her that early, made the good decision, because it's hard to grow up in the Philippines as like a well-known athlete, because we don't have a lot. So
sure.
Attention, you'll always get attention. So I think it's good that she had that equipping and training.
Right. I know that Manny Pacquiao is having a sort of comeback at the moment, but there is a huge void, I guess, in Philippine sport at the moment that Alex has filled. Globally, at least.
yeah, and also because tennis is, it's on all the time. So there's always a
Okay.
tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
other sports where we have top athletes, it's gymnastics and pole vaulting actually. So
Okay.
I guess they're not the frequency is not as much as tennis, right? Because tennis is always happening every week.
Yep.
So that also factors in like how much exposure. Ooh, that was a good return from Alex.
Okay. 30 all.
I mean, she is
On
getting
the
at
second serve.
least
Yeah.
at 30 all, right? Like in the previous set, it was a lot of 40 love or 40-15 on Leylah's
Yeah.
service games.
Yeah, that serve, that return was great. That came down the line. Oh, sorry, forehand. Sometimes when I'm watching lefties play, I'm saying, "Oh, into the back, into the forehand."
Right.
And of course, I'm watching a lot of Alex over the last 15 months or so. So many times I've said that. Oh, into the back. Oh no, in the. There we go. There you go. That's in the backhand that time. Ooh, Leylah spraying that forehand. You'd expect her to make that
Yeah.
8, 9 times out of 10. And we've got a break point here for Alex to get it back on serve. She had a break point, of course, in the first set that came and went. So we'll see how this pans out. 30-40. Ooh.
Yeah, she should have gotten that back.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still juice. Big game this, in terms of, you break back. Who knows? You might get a set and then we'll see. But
Yeah.
it stays a
Leylah is
break
very
point.
locked in. Like I haven't seen her this stable, I guess, in a match this
Agree.
year.
I saw her get to love 15 and I think I mentioned it in the commentary. Wow, she's got to love 15 here, and she's thinking, I can seal the set here, I think, with a double break. And I think she did in that game. And yeah, just seeing how she was on that last point. Yeah, she's not relaxing at all. Not in because I know Ostapenko has that game, but that aggressive game style, which of course means that she can lose games in quick succession. But she also does have that ability to not be locked in for some of those games as well.
Right.
And you can drift, and it doesn't. I don't care if you're the. Oh, there you go. Look, she's held.
Yeah.
You can drift, maybe more in team sports, I find, than in individual sports. But you can just drift through matches. You're a breakup, and everything seems to be fine, and you're not as zoned in, and before you know it, the other player's got the break back, kind of thing. Or in a team sport, you're not active in the match that much, so it's the game can pass you by. I've heard a lot of sportsmen, professionals say that as well. Big occasions, for example, is don't let the game pass you by. Serve down the tee there from Alex to get 15 love.
So Alex is serving. Well, I'm 2 points ahead.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
guess.
All right.
Yeah, I mean she's serving much better in this game. Okay, now I jinxed her, but yeah, she serves up an ace to get to 30 love.
I see that. Yeah, 30 love. Yeah, again down the tee, 166. That seems quite quick to me, but
Yeah.
so I was at this tournament in 23. Was it 23 or 24? 24. The year Rebecca won it, 2024.
Right.
Yeah, 23. I was at Barcelona. I did Barcelona. I did Estoril, Barcelona, and Madrid in fairly quick succession. That was a good summer. That was. Bit lucky there, Eala, with that return from Leylah, because I would expect Leylah to make that more often than not. 40 love. And then in 24, yeah, I did Stuttgart. I mean, I know it's kind of the case every year, a little bit less this year, but that year 24, you had, even outside the top, I think it was 9 of the top 10 were playing, but even outside of that, you had the good German contingent, as you often will, you know, Lauda, Siegmann, etc. But you also had Emma Raducanu was there as well, so you had plenty of star power as well.
I mean, this tournament always has like a lot of top players playing it. So
Yeah. Again, even at 40 love there, Leylah locked in on that point. She's going, you know what?
Right.
You might hold here, but you're not
Yes,
gonna. I'm not gonna
exactly.
give it to you.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna make it so hard for you. But she ends up holding.
Wow.
Just I'm a bit
Good hold.
ahead.
Yeah. An hour on the clock. She is creeping up, at least I saw that 47% stat, and I've seen a few more first serves here. She's creeping that first serve stat up.
Oh, that's good.
3-2.
I mean, they showed a stat earlier that she has won 73% of her first serves.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you're only putting 39%
Right.
of it in, then
Yeah.
it's not gonna give you that much. But if she continues to bring it up, maybe, who knows, she might get another break opportunity here.
Indeed. I mean, she's had 2 in the match so far. Regarding diasporas, Filipino diasporas around the world, it's something because of the nature of the business I have looked into a little bit. And I looked at, for example, some of these European countries where she's playing, and it's not, there's 2 huge factors at play. One is just simply numbers, how many Filipinos are living in X, Y, Z, but also, of course, the ratio, like if it's 70,000 people living in, Qatar or whatever, that's a phenomenal amount compared to, say, 70,000 in California, because of the ratio to the population. The other fact, the secondary factor as well, is what are the Filipinos doing? What kind of, how affluent are they? What kind of work are they doing? Because are they going to be able to just take the afternoon off work and go and watch a tennis match that's going to cost them an arm and a leg, etc.? So I have looked into it, and I saw that some of these, like in Austria, there's a small handful, if you like, in Linz and in Vienna, etc. And I know there was quite a few Filipinos traveling to Linz, rather than obviously people living in Linz. Whereas in the Middle East, the numbers were off the charts. I mean, you saw it in the stadium, but it was also, evident before that just by doing a quick research.
Right. I mean, I guess there are different. It would depend on the country, what they usually do, but I would say, at least in the Middle East, a lot of it might be healthcare as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like, there are a lot of Filipino health workers all over the world. Yeah.
Maybe they're quite well paid in the Middle East. I don't know, because there will be a sizable amount in London, for example, but maybe the salaries there and the time off work is not quite so forgiving.
Right.
I mean, I'm expecting a decent following, and yet, interestingly, I remember Christian Garin of Chile, because actually the Chilenos living in the UK are actually often coming from pretty good backgrounds, let's say financially, I mean, and therefore doing, they're working in banking or whatever. So, so suddenly Christian Garin, every match he was playing in the year, I think it was 2022 when he made the quarters, I think, kind of from nowhere. I actually spoke to Christian during that tournament, and I asked him about how many grass courts are there in Chile, and he said none. None that he was aware of anyway. 30 love here for Leylah.
That was a good point. This one coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching
from Alex's
Yeah.
favor.
Yeah, she's kind of, at least what I'm watching so far, she's in charge of this from start to finish. Oh,
And
lovely.
she was able to finish it at the net. Like,
Yes,
was that
indeed.
like the two-handed thing
I
that
was
you were
just wondering
saying?
that because I think she
Yeah.
might, and I'm watching it on my phone and it's also from a distance. I'm now watching the replay. Let me have a look because I felt as though, no, it is that two-handed one. Yeah.
Right.
It just looks unusual. It's not, particularly on that point, ineffective. It is working as it did there, but it looks a little different to me. And I hadn't noticed it on any other surface. I mean, I'm not seeing it really hit too many
I
of those
think
kind of shots.
she hits those on grass as well,
Okay.
but maybe not as often
Uh-huh.
as on clay.
Sure. Oh, that's a good backhand there from Leylah on the rise. 40-15. This may yet be 6-1, 6-2, or 6-1, 6-3 or something.
Right.
But it's honestly totally different to some of those other losses that I highlighted.
Right. Like it's not that she's barely winning points or anything. It's
Exactly.
It's pretty close her.
She's had 2 break points in this match. She might have had a break point on Coco in that sort of 9-game spell that I think Coco had to begin that match in the Middle East, but I don't remember it. I don't think she did.
I think she did.
Oh, did she?
I
Okay.
think so.
I
think she might have actually broken.
She did.
But it was because of the double faults.
Yeah.
more.
She did, but I think that was in the second set, right? It was like
Right.
I think Coco was up maybe, I'm going to say 6-love, 3-love when that happened. Something like that. Maybe in 6-love, 2-love, and Leylah holds for 4-2. So, yeah. But what I mean is in that 9-game stretch and in those stretches, in those previous losses that I highlighted, they just sort of ran away very quickly. Whereas here, she's up 40-15 on serve. Probably should hold. She's into rallies. She's in points. They're grinding, and then Leylah from nowhere, pulls out a winner, or she's, having 2 break points. So there's 2 service games. Oh, and she's just hit that forehand long.
Yeah.
So it's ifs, buts, and maybes, but this could be a 4-3 loss, or 6-4, 7-5 kind of thing.
I mean, I think part of it is that Leylah is also playing really, really well. She doesn't seem to be at least visibly frustrated, which is how she was for most of her matches this year. I would say it feels like she's battling herself. But now there's none of that.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, and I'm wondering if Jasmine Paolini can do something different as well. Sometimes these players, change of environment, change of surface,
Right.
reset, off you go. Because Jasmine's year thus far has been, by her high standards, underwhelming.
And Leylah can just pull out that drop shot out of nowhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a great drop shot. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't do anything with that. When that leaves the
so
racket.
close to the net.
Exactly. I don't even know how physically that occurred. I mean, yeah. So 15-30 here. Of course, a breaker serve here for Leylah, and she'll be serving for the match.
Oh, good point for Alex. That's like the drop
On
shot.
the second serve as well. Am I about to see a double-handed drop shot again?
No, it's a drop shot from Leylah, but
Okay, that failed.
it didn't work that well this time.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm waiting for it. Oh, a redrop. Okay.
Right.
So it started with an Alex sort of a drop shot. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, just vary the point up at least. It was a drop shot on the forehand side as well. So 30 all. Misplaced ball.
Wow.
Okay.
Leylah's 3 locked in.
Okay.
She has such quick hands. I feel like she can just sort of know what to do with an incoming ball. Yeah.
Yeah, that backhand cross court. There will be, if Alex goes on to lose this match, of course it's looking likely right now, there will be loads of reactions regarding, look, Alex is not this, not that, and you guys are all wrong. Well, actually, I'll come to that in a moment. It's 34. I just want to hone in on this point. Backhand, forehand return. Forehand now from Alex is decent. It's on the rise now. I've seen her miss a few of these today, but this one's going to land in. She's on top of the point, Alex, but I think she might have just ceded that advantage. And she goes long with the backhand. 5-2.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll come to my point, but I'll do it post-match, assuming this does finish in the next 5 minutes or so. Leylah Fernandez is going to serve for the match. 6-1, 5-2. She leads in an hour and 10 minutes. I think the scoreboard, as I've highlighted a couple of times already today, that's a bit deceptive. I think it's been a bit closer than that. Leylah has been honed in, no doubt. She's honing in on a banana right now. But yeah, well done, Leylah. Let's have a quick look. So Barcelona, I think I've gone through most of the results there. Got Navoni and Rublev in action right now. Nakashima and Cerundolo are also in action. Feast and Atmani will be in action later on. Let's have a look at Munich. What's going on there? Oh, Tsitsipas is winning sets. How about that? Stefanos, you're up a set on Marujan, although it's on serve in the second. Zizou Berg, straight sets. Yes, Zizou. I think I went for Marujan on that one. He loves the clay, does Fabian. And yeah, I mean, Stefanos is in a really bad place right now. Oh, good win for Altmaier in straights over Cilic. I think, yeah, I think I would probably lean Daniel on this surface. But depends on what's going on, but maybe Munich as well, home crowd, all the rest of it. Koboli beating Dedura, Kopshiva beating Justin Engel, although we needed 3 sets to do so. And yeah, Molchan, Bublik, 4-2 for that win. What else have we got? Okay, Zverev. Oh, I didn't know this. Zverev looks like he was in an absolute epic today against Kecmanovic. And he lost to Kecmanovic, I think, maybe in Mexico this year, I think. Maybe even the opening round in Acapulco. I'm pretty sure he lost to Kecmanovic earlier this year in also a super close match. I think it went 3 sets. Might have been 7-5 or 7-6 to Misha in the third. But Zverev ultimately pulls through. Oh, and Fonseca beat Tabilo. Okay. Good win in that manner anyway. I thought Fonseca would get revenge for his loss in Buenos Aires, but I thought it would be a big ask because that day in Buenos Aires, Zhao, talking of lefties as we were earlier, Zhao was struggling with that nature. All right, Fernandez here, love 15 on her serve. Nice. Oh, that drop shot. Oh. I feel as though there might be a tweet coming from Island Tennis Girl pretty soon. Have you? Do you prep your tweets sometimes and ready them to send out?
No, not really.
Because I do, and I've probably
sometimes, but not a match tweet. I feel like I'm gonna jinx someone, although I'm not that powerful, but I just don't feel good about prepping a match.
I had one
Tweet,
last
yeah.
week, which did eventually get used, but it did
Okay.
have to be put on hold for about an hour and 15 minutes. I'll tell you about it in a moment. I'm just going to see how this one goes. Is that 15:30? Yes, it is. They were just going along there. Yeah, the tweet, which eventually got used, but I was quite pleased about the tweet. I noticed how Zverev kept getting to the semi-finals in Monte Carlo, but never any further. And it was always in World Cup years. So I had a tweet. He was playing Fonseca, and he's up a set and a break. And I'm ready with this tweet. And of course, it ends up going 3 sets because Fonseca gets the break back. But I managed to use it in the end because he won in 3. Okay, I'm watching this point here at 15:30. Oh, okay. Yeah, that slice didn't work in the end. 30 all.
But I think when Alex hits to the middle,
That
she
slice
doesn't really know where Leylah
No.
is going to put it back.
Yeah, and that slice was reminiscent of some of those drop shots I've highlighted. Okay, 30 all here. Leylah Fernandez to serve. Misses the first serve, so it'll give Alex hopefully a chance to attack this second serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? Ooh, double fault.
Yeah.
30-40. So a third break point for Alex Eala.
Oh. I mean, I am ahead, so I know what's gonna happen.
Go on, tell me. Just tell me. It's okay.
Oh, Alex breaks.
Hey,
So,
5-3.
it's not over yet. It's a 5-3. Yeah. But a bit of a
Respectability, right?
and also I think nerves a bit from Leylah
Okay.
as well. Like double faulting on 30 all is
And that slice at the end to give that last game away
right.
will disappoint her too. So 6-1, 5-3, albeit that Eala has obviously got the tightrope of serving to stay in the match and will have to break again if she is to gain parity. But a bit more respectability
She
here.
is really good at. You're right. Like she's so good at swing volleys. I never noticed that before until you said it. I'm like, yeah, she is.
Yeah, she loves them. I love a good swing volley, okay? But there's a couple of things I'll say about them. I love... Just a moment, I'm about to watch the swing volley. I love when they work on the court. Yeah, I've seen that millions of times over the last 15 months from Alex. That one was a bit easy because she was quite close to the net.
Right.
But I love the... When I try and do them, and don't get me wrong, I mess them up as often as I pull them off. I just love the fact that my mind is normally quite clear. I'm going to do it.
Right.
All right. So there's not any doubt. I know what I'm going to do if it works. And if it works, by the way, you do get people around, amateurs, of course, going, ooh, it's
right. It's an impressive shot. Like
it is. And it's also one that you might get a few eyeballs on. If there's just a few people just about to walk onto their court, more so than if you hit even a great forehand or a good serve.
Right.
Or people are just going, and then you just take it out of the air. Now, of course, you look bad often as well. But when it comes to pressure, though, pressure points, that's a good one there from Leylah as well, by the way. I think I know you've got the smash, okay? When you're under pressure and you've got a smash and it's coming down to you. And you've also got that one that drops deep and bounces, and you've got that one as well. I don't know. The drive volley when you're under pressure, oh my goodness me. For me, it's worse than a return. It's because you've got the time. Probability is on your side, but not to the same percentage it is with a smash.
Right.
And I'm thinking of I think there was a drive volley from and Djokovic is the most clutch tennis player I think in history, but there's a drive volley from him. We'll see a double fault here from Leylah for 15:30. Sorry, from Alex. There's a drive volley from him in that Wimbledon final that he lost to Alcaraz, the first one in 2023. And yeah, He takes it out the air. He's not known for his smashes. Maybe that's going through his mind in terms of electing to drive volley. It may have landed out. I don't know if you know the point I'm referring to.
I don't remember, but
the game, he actually ends the game by whacking his racket against the
oh yes. Now I remember.
All right, let's hold on this because
Leylah has match point.
2 match points, and I'm going to ask you to just hold off your thoughts for the next 30 to 45 seconds as I see how this next point and potentially the point after as well pan out. We've got that famous Leylah back to the court, clenched fist, up and down, bounce, turn around, and ready to go. And she is ready to go, just about a meet behind the baseline. And she's about to receive a first serve here from Alex Eala. Where you're going to go with this? You're going to go down the tee, but you're going to miss it. Adding more to both the pressure and likelihood of Leylah Fernandez sealing this in straight sets. We'll see if this pans out that way. Here we go with the serve. Back forehand return is really good, but actually we're into the rally right now. Alex deals with that. Now it's a forehand up the line. Leylah on the defense here. Alex trying to dictate play, but Leylah's getting back into the point. That's a wonderful backhand down the line from Eala, and it draws the error from Leylah Fernandez. So 1 down, another to go. 30-40. Again, I'm going to ask you just on this moment, just to hold off what you're seeing unveil. You've probably seen Eala's already at advantage on your screen, no doubt, because she's hit a couple of aces. And and I'm at 30-40. Okay, she serves down the tee. Backhand return is going to also go awry. So we are at juice. Now you can tell me what you make of those last 2 points if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good survey, and she was like aggressive on those points. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even if she does hold, Leylah gets another chance to to serve, right? But of course, more pressure back to her.
Okay.
But she does have a chance to hold here.
Okay, game point. Yeah, really good depth on that backhand. So game point here for Eala to at least make Leylah try and serve it out again. I said regarding Eala's clay courts, just win more matches than you did last year. Don't set the bar crazily high, because you also set it crazily high in the fact you're playing 2 500s. Unlike last year, the second of the 500s is almost like a WTA finals in some respects, given the nature of the opposition.
That's true.
Yeah, I call it, I mean, this year slightly less, but I do describe it as like a mini WTA finals. Oh, dearie me, Leylah Fernandez on the return there. And I tell you what, that steely look, I've seen that steely look in Alex's eyes a few times before.
Right.
She's thinking...
I mean, she doesn't really give up, even if she's down in the score. Yeah.
And even more so today, when she'll feel that she was in a lot of these games, that first set, yes, Leylah wins it, but it could have been 6-3, honestly. She could have had a break of serve before she got one. It was on the third chance of asking. Leylah's playing fantastic. She'll also be in the back of her mind hoping that if she just drops by 5 or 10%, I'm going to be there to take advantage. There's a great quote from Nadal after he comes back from a double breakdown, I think, to Sebi Korda. I think it's a double break in Indian Wells in 22. And it's like, you know, if you give up, you'll lose 100% of the time. Whereas if you don't, even in those sets, you know, there's a 5% chance. And yeah.
Very Rafa-like.
Very Rafa-like. I don't know if have you seen the trailer for the Netflix
yes,
documentary?
I have.
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Yes.
To watch it.
And his line about what is it about being a winner and being a competitor and finding who he is and the difference kind of between the two. Yeah. He was once asked, I think in a press conference, about, you know, losing painfully, you know, a type 5 set or just a big match. The difference between that and being injured or not playing a particular
Right.
slam or tournament, like, you know, which is worse. And it's no doubt about it. Not being able to play, winning, losing, it happens. You know, do your absolute best and give yourself every chance to win the match. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But not being able to compete, it would just drove him nuts. All right, well, we've got a couple of hearty competitors out here. She has got new balls, Leylah. Go on, what have you seen?
She just double faulted to start the game. So definitely some nerves happening. Because she's been serving really well all match, right? And then
Yes, indeed. Okay.
and we know Alex is like seeing it, and she's like you said, the steely look.
Yeah, you can feed off that. You can sometimes as well, you know, both players can be anxious, but you're so consumed with your own anxiety that you sort of forget how the other player. Remember, even I think it was Carlos Moya said to Rafa in his last US Open. It was about a match with Fognini where Rafa was going through a sticky moment, and he was just reminded by Carlos he's going through a sticky moment as well, and Rafa went on to win in 4 sets. I think sometimes you kind of forget that. Anyway, love 15 here. I'm seeing this return into the forehand of Leylah Fernandez, backhand cross court from Eala. On the backhand of Eala into the forehand of Leylah, which is decent across court. Oh, good angle there from Alex. Oh, what a backhand that is from her. Love 30.
She's seeing this nerves.
Yeah, she's feeding on it for sure.
And Leylah hasn't hit the first serve yet in this game.
There you go.
Oh, that Alex hits a forehand long though.
Okay. Forehand return into the forehand of each player. I'm now seeing that forehand go long that you highlighted from Alex. So 15-30. How many match points did Leylah have? 2, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, 40-15, wasn't it? And then 4 points in a row for Alex. Okay.
Another second serve here.
Okay. It's getting very interesting.
Oh, Alex is gonna be annoyed at that.
Okay, 30 all. Misplaced ball toss here. I mean, I know how the point's going to go, but it's obviously a chance for Alex. I'm guessing it's on the return, actually. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it just goes long. Yeah. 30 all. Go on, what's happened? We got a match point or a break point?
Yeah, match point.
Okay.
Leylah hits an ace.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to hold your breath for a minute or so as I catch up with my stream and then talk us through the match point. I'm now watching this ace, which actually went out wide. I was thinking ace down the tee. But anyway, 164 kilometers an hour, that serve from Leylah Fernandez. Is it going to be third time lucky for the Canadian? Had 2 points, 40-15, 2 match points on her serve in her previous service game. There's been a double fault in here. There's been some anxiety. She goes, I think, love 30 down on her serve in this particular game as well. And suddenly things were looking very different. But 3 points in a row, including an ace. Can Leylah serve this out? Let's have a look. She serves out wide. That was close. That was really close. It felt like with the naked eye watching on anyway. But it did land out into the tram line. So it's going to be a second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. Third match point for Leylah. Where are you going to go with this? Forehand return from her into the forehand of oh, I think she's on top of this point is Leylah, but Alex is on the run. Oh, and Alex has missed the forehand into the tram line. And I tell you what, in the end, I think Leylah crawled over the line there because that was an anxious rally as well from Leylah's perspective. I felt there was all the conviction that she had for the first hour and 10 minutes of this match just disappeared in those last two service games. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some, some not luck, but like Alex could have done better in some of those points. But yeah, I mean, Leylah would be happy, relieved to get through that because she kind of wobbled a little bit towards the end, right?
Definitely. And in those two service games in particular, as I said, I highlighted at least one double fault in there at a fairly important moment. She was also up 40-15 on her service. And suddenly from that 40-15 point, and then Eala wins to four points in a row and then ultimately holds as well, until we then get to love 30. And I'm thinking, you know what? We could be going to a tiebreak here or who knows? And then the way the momentum would have shifted, I'm just seeing Eala wave to the crowd as she exits this tournament at the first hurdle, but I think she can take some solace from the manner of her performance. I would even say that actually it was probably a similar level to what she showed in Linz. She's just coming up against a really stern opponent in Leylah Fernandez. What do you make of that match?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not the same kind of losses that she's had recently where she was kind of blown off the court. In this match, she had her chances, like she got into some break points, and she also had game points, right? Like she did. That first set didn't feel like it was a 6-1 set. Like maybe it should have been 6-2, 6-3. I think she's showing improvements on the surface. Not as not terrible, but like not as challenged as she was last year, I think. But yeah, definitely she needed to have her first serve in this match, and she didn't have it for most, especially in the first set. So immediately whenever she didn't get the first point in her service game, she was just under so much pressure already. So just having a good serving day, even with her serve, she would have won maybe a set here.
Yeah. Regarding Leylah, for a set and a half, it's as good as we've seen from her from a long time. Yeah. She was hitting the ball with conviction. She seemed confident. She was, pleased to be on the European clay, even if it is indoors. And she was moving more comfortably as well than Alex, right?
Yes. And definitely also like more creative or instinctive on the court. I think like she knew where she wanted to put the ball no matter how it came at her.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. Regarding Eala and the bigger picture of her clay court season, she's had 1 win now and 2 losses. Last year it was 2 and 4, I believe. I still think 1 and 2. If she just gets 2 more wins, whether they come in Madrid, Rome, or Roland Garros, 2 wins from the next 3 tournaments, I would still call that a tick. She'll gain a few points. I think it's, of course, what these 2 early-ish exits, though, have done is I think they've consigned her to not being seeded at the French Open. I'm not sure. Do you know when the cutoff is for that?
No, I don't.
Not sure. I know. I think it might even be the end of this week. But obviously, a top 32 seeding, it was always looking unlikely once she lost that match to Mukova in Miami. She was probably going to have to replicate her sort of semi-final run there in terms of being top 30 in the world through the clay court season. And so once she loses that match, it's looking like a tall order. But regarding the bigger picture, get 3 wins. If you can get a win like you had in Linz, for example, in Madrid, and she won a match in Madrid last year, maybe don't play Igor on the clay throughout this season. That might be helpful as well. She's obviously not going to be playing her in Stuttgart. Just 1 or 2 more things on her performance today. As you highlighted, got to get more of those first serves in. And normally it's an area of her game, Eala, that she's pretty good on, getting... Actually, in Linz, it was just down a little bit, I think, in like late 50s maybe. but normally it's 60, 65, 70. Today, at the end of that first set, we saw it at 37. I think it crept up at various stages in the second set, which helped her hold maybe a bit more in that second set. And we still saw that spirit as she got one of the breaks back because she was staring down the barrel of a 6-1, 6-2 loss, which at least on paper would have had the naysayers very angry and very excited in equal measure. Just having a quick look at the eventual stats. She won 52% on serves. It doesn't tell me how many first serves she got in. She hit just one double fault in the match, but Leylah hit 6 in total. Forehand winners. Alex is struggling to hit through players in the same way that obviously she can on other surfaces, especially players like Leylah who can defend very, very well. She hit 3 forehand winners and 6 backhand, whereas Leylah hit 13 forehand winners and 10 backhand winners. Again, highlighting Eala's defense is not quite as strong on this surface compared to others because of the movement. I would lay that mainly down. Both players hit 28 unforced errors, and Eala was 1 from 3 on break points. We mentioned, as I said, some of those heavy defeats that Eala's taken over the last 9-10 months or so to Kostyuk and to Mukova and to Goff and Moscova. But today was a long way from that. However, another step forward, another learning curve, right? I guess.
Yeah, I think she was pretty close here. So maybe, I don't know if that would gives you more comfort or that just makes you more frustrated that you didn't take your chances, right? Like she was 1 out of 3 break points in the end. Like had she converted one of that, who knows? One more, who knows what would have happened. Like maybe Leylah would wobble more or something as we've seen towards the end. But yeah, I think she would want to have a good next tournament, because if she doesn't, that would be the first time she would have 3 losses in a row this season, I think. Like,
yeah.
So I'm sure she doesn't want that feeling, right? Like having a losing streak.
Yep, agreed. Because she's built up some pretty good momentum really since Miami. It's, yes, as I said, clay last year wasn't great, but actually her improvements, I would suggest, have been pretty linear. That breakout run in Miami was followed by a couple of wins on the clay, including over Iga. Yes, it was a pretty underwhelming clay court season in general, but then I actually saw her play really, really well on the grass. Unlucky to draw Krejcikova in the first round. She also made a WTA 250 final where she had championship points, but generally it was a great step forward. She wins her first slam match at the US Open. She wins a WTA 125 shortly afterwards. This season, more, lots of wins, quarterfinals here, semifinals there. It's been pretty upward so far. I think clay will always be an issue for her. And if she could just make some improvements year on year, I think that would be it. I have one other thing that I want to ask you before we close this stream. And it is a bit of a separate thing that I was going to highlight during the stream, and I'll save it for now. The fandom of Alex Eala, and more importantly, the response. I'm guessing you may have seen me addressing this 6 weeks ago or so. But I'd like to get your perspective on this, and in particular, just really one element of this, which is when you see the negative reactions, and some of them can be much stronger than just the negative reactions on social media in particular to Alex's, it's her failures more than anything else, and the anger that we obviously. How do you feel? Does it, as someone who loves tennis and also probably quite keen to see tennis in the Philippines grow, and via Eala being obviously one of those ways, how do you feel when you see this? Is it war for ducks back? Does it not matter? Does it hurt you? Does it bother you? Yeah, what is your reaction?
Do you mean like the negativity from
tennis
fans
I mean,
in general, or Filipino fans? I think that those are kind of different.
All right.
To me,
could you address both of those points?
Okay, so I feel like the general negativity may be around her. As you mentioned, like people think that she is undeservedly hyped, when in fact it's not. It's already hype, right? Like as you said, it's attention. That people just want to watch her play. Like her demographic, the Filipinos all over the world want to watch her play. They're not necessarily saying she's gonna win a slam. They just want to watch her play, right? So I think the negativity around that is weird for one. Like, as tennis fans, we want the sport to grow. So like, why don't you want more fans watching tennis, right? Or like bringing a new demographic to tennis. I find that kind of weird. Like, I don't understand it, but maybe they feel like she's undeserving, perhaps. But yeah, I wouldn't agree. I don't really feel bad about it. I
Okay.
can just brush it off. What I feel bad about is Filipinos being negative about
Okay.
Alex's losses, for example. Like, um, that's what I feel a bit bad about. And I think that maybe stems from because, again, we're not a big tennis country, both playing and watching as a spectator. I think Filipinos are just getting used to the idea of the pace of tennis. Like it's something that happens week in and week out, and no matter who you're supporting, your player will always more or less lose a lot of the time. Like they will probably lose every week, unless you're supporting Sinner or Sabalenka.
Yeah, right.
But more or less, right? Like they will lose, and I think maybe they're not that used to that. Like it feels like why is she always losing or
Okay.
something? I think, and they expect her to not all of them, but like
Do you
the
see these
negative
reactions on
ones.
X or elsewhere, or is it like in the media as well, the mainstream media as well?
Media, not so much,
Okay.
but I think more on social media.
hmm
Well, definitely in some of these comments, they have said something to that
I've seen some of
effect.
them, but I have no idea where they come from.
Yeah.
But then
Um,
the ones today are not as. Sometimes they can be worse. That was like, oh, her
yeah.
service rubbish or whatever. But yeah,
Right.
but there's some in Tagalog that I probably don't understand. Were they all positive or how were they?
No,
Oh,
they
weren't
were
they?
not. Yeah.
Interesting. I wanted to ask you about that actually at one point to say, what are these people saying? Are they saying? Um, I've seen a few. There may have been a few more today than otherwise, but I've seen a few in the past, and I've asked for translations. Actually, they have often been fairly positive, like "Go Alex," or
Right.
"Good luck," or "Hopefully you win the next game." Regarding the fandom, and I know I've obviously said my piece quite extensively, but one more thing I'll say is that when I'm watching her matches and the Philippines are going crazy, they're going crazy for the point. In that they're in that moment, right? They're
Mm,
absolutely honed in on the moment. They want her to win the point. Yes, maybe they shouldn't scream out between the point, but anyway, it's all about that point. And then she goes on to
right.
the next three in a row. That's all right. It's all about the next point. It's all about
Right.
very much in the moment. They're not thinking about world number one or Grand Slams. But
Right.
the
Exactly.
the social media trolls on X in particular are thinking about Grand Slams and stuff. Um, there was one other thing. Oh, did Manny Pacquiao get any of this as well? I mean, he's someone who obviously was winning, so it might be different. I'm just plucking him out as the most
You mean
famous.
the negativity?
Yeah.
I think maybe towards the end, when he was nearing the end of his career, he
Okay.
wasn't winning as much. I think maybe I don't really follow boxing that much. Yeah, but I think boxing is different, right? Like you only have so many matches in a year, and when he was winning, when he was at the top of his game, he really was at the top of his game. So it's kind of a bit different, I think. And then obviously his personality became more complex because he entered politics, he did some acting, and so the feelings about him changed. It wasn't just about him being a sports person. So I think it's a bit different than what Alex is experiencing right now. I would hope that it's more that as fans get to know tennis or like what tennis is like on a week to week or a year on basis, that they would understand. Like for example, yeah, like maybe they for us, like losing to Leylah is not, it's not a bad it's not a bad loss at all. Like actually it's more expected, right? Because she's more experienced, she's definitely better on the surface, but maybe what comes off in the media is like, oh, she lost again, or she lost again, and like, so that's what kind of builds up maybe the negativity. But maybe if the spectating part of tennis grows, then it'll change, because actually tennis is growing here as a playing sport. Spectate spectating sport, not so much, because there's not a lot of access to um, view the matches. So I don't also know like how um, people have to get to know more, like what tennis, a life of a tennis player is like. Like you just really lose a lot, and that's part of it.
Well, there's one final element to being a tennis fan, which is, of course, late nights and early mornings. And now it is extremely late, I think, where you are 5 to 1 in the morning. Am I right?
Yes.
So it's time to say goodbye and good night and good evening and good afternoon, whatever the time it is, wherever you are tuning in from, to Alex Eala's pursuit of going deep at the WTA event in Stuttgart after a 6-1, 6-4 loss to Leylah Fernandez. But I bid you a good night.
Good night.
And everybody else, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.